For this one, I'm going to be bringing my noticing attention to my head area. First, just like if you had a flashlight and you take it into a dark basement and you shine it around, and you're just sort of getting an idea of what's there. Coming to notice what you feel in your whole head area from your neck on up. Just take an easygoing feel around. Noticing what places strike your attention, what areas speak up a little bit. So I definitely encourage you to modify whatever my words are to fit, modify the practice to fit you. And in like some practices are about staying still, and this practice you can move. You can allow sound to happen. And now, again, going back to this basement with the flashlight metaphor, or dark room. Sometimes when you shine your light in a really dark place, you can kind of catch a glimpse of something. You see light reflecting, and there's some fuzzy thing, but you can't tell anymore. And that's sort of what I'm encouraging here. The idea is to describe to yourself what sensations you feel in a neutral-esque way. And it might be like this flashlight in the dark room where you, for example, maybe the only adjective you have is moves like this. And that's really what I'm going for. How does it move would be one aspect. So diving in a little bit more to the practice and starting to take closer looks at different areas of this head zone. And you can really start anywhere. I'm going to start just with this eye region. Not trying to change anything, just trying to notice what is there, allowing it to change if it does. If you say hello to one eyelid, do you get a sense of temperature? Do you feel any, like, pulsing? Do you feel tension or looseness, awakeness or sleepiness in this eyelid area? And you might bring your hands to your face. And just a note in these times of making sure when you touch your face, only in moments where you've freshly washed and you're just with very, very, very clean hands. And you might bring a question just to your eyelid or to your whole eye of like, what would you like, or how would you like to move right now? And when you do that sort of asking, you might, sometimes a word might come to mind or some random words. If you start noticing that you're thinking of storylines, just for this practice, coming back to notice the sensation, it's like you ask a question to this body region, and then it's like instead of, words might come up, but instead of looking for words, you're sort of like listening for the sensation response. And as just an example, like for me, when I offered some of those words to my eyelid, what I noticed was like a little bit more heaviness. There was like a downward quality. And maybe you hear nothing, maybe you feel nothing. And that's okay. The whole idea with this practice is to try things. Try a question. If that's confusing or doesn't work for you, let it go. Try to listen to what sensations are there. If you feel nothing, no problem. You just refresh and shine your flashlight again in this body region, looking for just bits of information. And I'm still just playing with this eyelid area in terms of like focus. And as I do that, I also notice it's like if you're looking at the horizon and you can be looking at one thing, but you still kind of pick up periphery movement. And so I'm sort of noticing that. I feel my eyelid, and then other regions kind of spark up. Is there, like, does your eyelid seem warm or seem cold? And then going over to the other eyelid, and maybe you spend a moment back and forth to help you notice if there's a difference, to like taste the feeling of one and then taste the feeling of the other, going at your own pace. And trying to stay with like real, again, this neutral-esque information. Do you feel movement? Can you feel the air on the skin of your eyelid? Can you sort of feel your heartbeat or other body movement happening, sort of feeling it through this eyelid region? Another way to say that is like, if you're bringing your attention to this eyelid region, being pretty loose about that, what that is exactly. Noticing whatever micro movements might be happening that are or are not related. They might be related, they might not. Just noticing what sort of movement you feel if you're noticing, focusing on that region. Maybe nothing, and that's perfectly fine. And then, for this practice, with your eyes shut, because you can also be sensing your eyelids when your eyes are open. I happen to have been doing it with my eyes shut. But now bringing your eyes shut, and with shut eyelids, if I go to look with my eyeballs to the right, and then center, and then again with shut eyeballs, shut eyelids still, I make the action of looking left. And then up, still with shut eyelids. And then looking down. And then kind of neutral. Looking forward. And then playing with, what if I look, I'll show you with my eyes open, so opening my eyes for a second. If I'm looking at the screen of this video, or if I was looking further, or if I look out the window into the far distant horizon. So what I want you to try now is, again, shutting your eyelids and having your eyes sort of just be neutral-esque, not really trying to do anything, but sort of looking forward. And then what if you try to look into the distance when your eyelids are shut? And then rest just for a minute, kind of don't need to do anything. And then try to look far into the distance one more time with shut eyelids. And then just coming to neutral. And then, if you can, offering a thanks to your eyelids, each eyelid. And if some days, for some people, sometimes thanks is like not quite right. Maybe just at the very minimum, just a acknowledgement of like, I see you, eyelid. I see you, other eyelid. Or thank you, eyelid. Thank you, other eyelid. And then a real easygoing like thank you to the whole head region. And then a real easygoing thank you to all your body.